Are you ready to take a bite out of the competition? Are you looking for ideas to make your business better? Welcome to the Core Business Show with Tim Jacquet, sponsored by Apple Capital Group. At the core of every successful business, you'll find people making a difference. And with each episode of the Core Business Show, we talk with those people, examine those ideas, and explore the strategies that make them special. Now, the host of the Core Business Show, Tim Jacquet.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Core Business Show. I'm Tim Jacquet, your host. Today we have Victor Kwegyir. We're going to talk about You've Been Fired, his book that he wrote. We're going to take a break for a moment and we're going to talk about this book and some more details about what to do when you actually get laid off or get fired. We'll be back in one moment. You're listening to the Core Business Show. I'm Tim Jacquet, your host.
You're listening to the Core Business Show, sponsored by Apple Capital Group. Apple Capital Group in Jacksonville, Florida, is a commercial lender that specializes in asset-based loans, equipment leasing and financing, invoice financing, commercial real estate loans, and asset-based financing in the U.S. and Canada. Apple Capital Group is a direct lender that lends on their private equity investment portfolio. 90% of most loans are decided within 2 hours, and vendor funding within 24 hours after documents are completed, with a one-page application. No slow no's, just a quick decision and a fast yes. To get more information about lending from Apple Capital Group, call 866-611-7457. That's 866-611-7457 to speak with one of our loan specialists. Or visit us right now at applecapitalgroup.com. Welcome back to the Core. Once again, here's Tim Jacquet.
Victor, welcome to the show again.
Thank you very much, Tim. It's always a pleasure to be on the show.
Great. Tell us about this book that you wrote, and You've Been Fired. Kind of tell us what the basis of it, and out of all books that you've written, how did you actually get the inspiration on writing this book?
Well, we decided to write the book. As you rightly know, this is a co-authored book. My co-author is based in Louisiana. She's also an author, a coach, and a consultant as well. We came together to write this book, sharing our experiences, as well as what we know and what we've been advising our clients who come to us or seek us for advice and for their help in navigating when it comes to going into business for themselves or in instances like this when they've lost a job and are looking for options that are available to them. So the essence of the book is to help anyone transform a job-seeking challenge into a wealth creation opportunity. I mean, it's a collaborative effort. And we, interestingly, when we came together, when we shared we had our discussion and we realized that we both had similar experiences, even though we came from different countries, different upbringing and backgrounds. We both have experience on employment at a point, and that was the major cause or the major inspiration in we going into business for ourselves. So we felt that given the way the current economies, the uncertainties in the economies, it is one of the best ways for us to be able to offer help to people out there who probably have come to that crossroads and need a clear way out.
Wow. So, we all have been in this situation. We've been fired. I think only probably had a couple of times, but it's been the same employer. Go there to go help them, and I necessarily didn't get along with this associate. But, when you do in those type of situations, to me, I already had another job, so it really didn't matter. So maybe that was the attitude. But what do you do in those type of situations? Should you ask the person why, or should you just go ahead and just move forward and take your severance and go on?
It's always important to know exactly what is the reason or what is the wisdom behind the layoff, if you have the opportunity to do so. However, experience has also taught us that oftentimes, the person you might want to even ask might not even have a job themselves. They might have been affected as well. So then the question is, who else will you go to go and access, to help you to understand exactly what is going on? Besides, at the end of the day, you have got to make a life for yourself. So whatever the situation may be, even if you get to know exactly the reason why probably you fell among the people who had to be laid off, the question is, what else do I have to do? Now what? That's the second aspect of part of our title of the book. Now what do I have to do? What are the options available to me? So then it comes up to you to start to begin to analyze exactly what the options are out there, what are the options out there, and how you can be able to take advantage of them to make the best out of your life, because you got to live anyway. You've got responsibilities. So there's almost nobody on the earth who hasn't got one responsibility or the other. So you've got to make something out of it. So when you face such situations, the onus eventually falls on you. Even when you get all the explanation, when you get all the help and all the advice, you still have to make certain decisions for yourselves. And that is where we come in to offer the options that they can take advantage of.
What things you should do, because in most cases, some will end up with a severance package, and the first thing they start to do is panic. They go pay off all their bills to make sure that they don't have to worry about their mortgage or rent or car notes for several months while they get on their feet. Should they do something else instead of being reactive and doing those things, or just preserve the money and just pay it slowly? Or what's your advice, what they need to do with those funds, and I guess transition to if they need to know they have to step out on their own?
That's a very important question. The interesting thing is this. I always advise that you personally have to seek a financial personal advisor who really can help you to be able to see how much you have and be able to assess exactly the full extent of your situation and be able to give the right advice. I mean, as we know, professionals, I don't, for instance, give advice unless I know the full picture. Okay, because that is when you can be able to effectively give the right kind of advice. So that is very, very important. That's one of the most essential. However, having said that, you also have the opportunity to be able to look at potentially things that you might have been thinking about even whilst you were working for somebody. You might have thought of going into business for yourself, or exploring something, or pursuing a particular passion, or furthering your education, or taking advantage of some courses, advantage also upgrade yourself or upgrade your skills. So these are some of the things that will come up, and you have to potentially sit down and assess to see, okay, what do I do? Well, I might have got this severance package in, but will that be enough maybe to carry me? How long is it going to take me? How long will this package be able to sustain me for? And what can I do as I'm doing that? And for me, because we are looking at helping empower the individual to have a sustainable income and to develop something along the line, this is where I would challenge the person to seriously take a look at, all right, it's either you look for a new job if there are jobs available, or you think of the possibility of pursuing a particular passion or skill and turn it into a business, because that has got a potential of being able to bring you income even whilst you are still trying to find your way ahead. So it is very important that a person in such a situation either seek the right professional financial advice from the experts to be able to, for them to be able to equip them, to give them direction as to how to use that money wisely. On the other hand, you can also assess to see how long this is going to be, how long this money is going to carry me. Yes, you got to have some essential bills that you might.
We lost a signal real quick from Victor. We're going to take a break for a moment. We'll be back in a few moments. You listen to The Core Business Show. I'm Tim Jacquet, your host.
You're listening to The Core Business Show, sponsored by Apple Capital Group. Apple Capital Group in Jacksonville, Florida, is a commercial lender that specializes in asset-based loans, equipment leasing and financing, invoice financing, commercial real estate loans, and asset-based financing in the U.S. and Canada. Apple Capital Group is a direct lender that lends on their private equity investment portfolio. 90% of most loans are decided within 2 hours, and vendor funding within 24 hours after documents are completed, with a one-page application. No slow no's, just a quick decision and a fast yes. To get more information about lending from Apple Capital Group, call 866-611-7457. That's 866-611-7457 to speak with one of our loan specialists. Or visit us right now at applecapitalgroup.com. Welcome back to The Core. Once again, here's Tim Jacquet.
Again, we're talking to Victor Kwegyir. We're talking about his book, You've Been Fired, Now What? Victor, in your book, you talk about starting a business in economic downturn. Kind of tell us about that particular chapter in your book.
Yes, we did highlight the fact that the current downturn is not in all itself, all negative, because it has a lot of opportunities, a lot of advantages that it offers anybody who wants to take advantage and start something from there. There are a number of factors that we highlighted in there. Among them, the fact that it is one of the periods where should I say, it's a bit less expensive when it comes to starting a business for yourself because, of course, there are many organizations, businesses, and many suppliers, many people who are willing to be hired at a bit lower rate than if you have done during normal times. Suppliers are willing to negotiate better deals and offer you better deals if you have to probably deal with a supplier in producing a particular product or selling a particular product. There are so many other benefits. There are many people who have been laid off and are willing, even with their higher educational qualifications, they are willing to take less pay to be able to still help you to be able to drive the business. So the economic downturn has got its own benefits when it comes to, and that's what we try to do. That listen, it's not all doom and gloom. And in actual fact, every record has indicated that over the years, during economic downturns, one of the periods that you find a lot of people going into business for themselves, and that is because some of these factors exist, and it enables and creates that environment that is able to start and to thrive. One of the other major benefits is the fact that governments all over the place in the UK, in the US, actively encourage the entrepreneurs in the economy to start businesses and to promote. So they support us all sort of packages, all sort of loan packages, as well as mentoring packages, as well as free platforms and opportunities so that the economy can still be growing. So these are some of the benefits that economic downturn offers, and we highlight it in the book and let people know what exists out there, what they can take advantage of.
When you're in also in the book, right after that chapter, you're talking about the principles of success.
Yes.
Tell us about that principles and also how actually they need to actually create a business plan to have a mentor to take a look at to make sure they're going to be on course and they try to deal with this transition.
Yeah, there are a lot of principles, when it comes to business. And for any business out there, whether you're existing or you are an existing business or you're just going to start, it's very important to be able to come to that point of and really familiarizing yourself with what are some of the things that can help you to try. For instance, we did talk about the fact that one of the solid principles and that you need to have at the back of your mind, you have to make a provision not to quit. Okay, and that is because no matter what business you go into, even if you have all the resources available to you, there's going to be challenges along the way. Okay, and position and condition your mind to have that desire that I am not in to quit, I am in to make this thing work is always very important to help. That will help you to be able to navigate through the process, no matter how difficult the challenges are. And even if the product you started with or the service you started with is not exactly going the way you want to go, once you have that mindset, it helps you to be able to say, okay, let me see how best can I be able to, work on this, improve upon it, change some things, update some things, go in a different particular way to be able to fit into what the market requires or what the market needs. And for me to be able to, get the business going. We talk about things about you have to be passionate about whatever thing that you are offering. Because yes, you might have gone into business literally maybe having been pushed into it because there was no other alternative for you and you thought this is the way to go. You still have got to show passion. You still have got to let people know that you love what you are doing. You are passionate about it because passion is what sells the business. Especially when you start on your own, you're going to be doing a lot of things by yourself. And your enthusiasm will rub on the people that are going to do business with you. And if you show enough passion and you're passionate about it, it will help you a lot and to help people to also want to do business with you. Among the other things, you want to also manage your expectations, which is very, very important. When you start a business, it takes time for the business to grow. Research has indicated that oftentimes it's after about 3 years before you can probably get your head out of the hole. So you really want to manage your expectation right from the onset. And if the things are not going as fast as you are, once you've got that mindset, it helps not to give up that easily. Okay. Now, when it comes to planning, it's so essential that you plan for whatever thing you are stepping out there to do. The planning process is not only when you don't really just do planning just because you are going in for funding. You do planning because the planning it helps you to be able to kind of think ahead of what you are going to be encountering in the future or along the journey. So it is very important that there is a process of the plan, which is the most essential thing. It helps you to assess a lot of things, weigh a lot of factors, weigh the conditions ahead, even help you to be able to come up with problems before even they happen and help you to be able to develop the solutions. Okay, so it's very, very important. And in the book I have, in this particular one, we don't have the full business plan guide. But in my first book, The Business You Can Start, and the latest book, Pitch Your Business Like a Pro, you'll find a whole chapter in there about a business plan guide in there that can help any reader to be able to develop a business plan. Even if you don't want a professional to help you to write it, you can follow the guide and it can help you to think through your business thoroughly before you step out there. And that's very, very essential. It's something you cannot do without as a business if you really want to make a success of this journey.
Okay, and lastly, you have on here regarding successful systems in place. Should you model out a particular model or try to create your own systems? Kind of tell us about the successful systems.
Yeah, I mean, there are the basic systems that we all know in almost every business. However, every business has got its own way of running. But essentially, what we talk about in the book are some of the basic ones that you need to have in place. Okay, among them, you want to have a bookkeeping system in place right from the onset. Okay, because whatever you do, as long as you're not running a non-profit business, the money is a major factor. Okay, if you are going to grow, you are going to expand, the figure, the numbers is something you need to have your grasp of. So you need to have a bookkeeping system in place. You need to also have a marketing system. Okay, from where do you start your marketing processes? Okay, where do you start to craft your advertising strategy to be able to reach out to these strategic people that you are really aiming at? So you need to have something like a marketing system in place. You need to also essentially have in place a sales system, all right? And you also need to think about your credit system. Are you going to offer credit facilities to clients or to customers? And if so, how are you going to go about that? You need to have systems in place to be able to manage these processes. Systems are like the pillars. It's like the foundation things that you can build a business on. If you don't have it, the business can, just out of disorder, fail easily. However, when you have the systems in place, it helps the business to run on its own. It's like the four tires that we have under a car. They are not the engines, okay? Neither are they the steering wheel. However, without the right, tires under the car, it will be difficult to be able to move the car, to take the car on a journey and to get it working, function as it's supposed to be. So systems are very essential for the success and for the growing of any business out there. There's no business out there which is established that hasn't got a system in place. If you don't have it, you're basically kind of like just creating disorder. Very soon, it will all just cave in and you will not be able to make the growth and expand as you expect.
Perfect. And all in all, in leaving us with this book, kind of tell us what you want the audience to leave with and where can we find this book as well and reach out to you.
Good. What I have always said is that business, the desire to succeed is not a guarantee to becoming successful, okay? And it's the choices, it's not the circumstance that determine whether or not you will succeed in whatever thing that you want to do. So if you really are going to make a success of your life, wherever you are, whether you're already in a business, whether you're underemployed, whether you're unemployed, you're looking for more opportunity to explore, there are choices available to you. You've got to make that decision. The desire to succeed is not just a guarantee to make it. It is the decisions that you make and the actions and the steps that you take that will enable you to be able to make a success of whatever dream that you have. Okay, so I challenge people that don't give up if you've been unemployed. Don't give up. People have gone through before. We actually have a whole chapter in the book of about 15 people that we all know worldwide who have made a success of one dream or the other. And we are a testimony to that. Myself, my co-author, and many of us out there had to start something on our own when we were laid off. And that has become something that we are successfully thriving in right now. So it's something I encourage you. It is something that you can do. Economic downturn is not all negativity. There's a lot of positives in it, and you just need to know what to do. I encourage everybody to try and grab a copy of the book and read it and learn from the principles that we've shared in it and the steps that we've shared in it, and it can help them to be able to navigate their whole journey smoothly and more successfully.
Perfect. And where can we get this book?
Yeah, the book is available on Amazon. It's available on Kindle. It's available on all ebook platforms as well as Barnes and Nobles. And you can order it from any bookstore in the world. You can just ask them, like I've always said, Victor Kwegyir I'm the only person in the whole wide world that name. So once they put in that name in Google or anywhere, they can connect with me, go to my website, which is www.VIKE, that is V for Victor, I for India, K for Kilo, E for Echo, VIKEbusinessservices.com. That is my website, www.VIKEbusinessservices.com. You can connect with me on Facebook. Just type in Victor Kwegyir, That is Victor. Then the Kwegyir is K for Kilo, W for Whiskey, E for Echo, G for Golf, Y for India, Y for Yankee, I for India, R for Romeo. They can connect with me on Facebook, on Google Plus, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, and you can always get copy on all the platforms worldwide.
Perfect. I really appreciate it, Victor, for coming on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Tim. It was a pleasure. Take care. You have a
same here. Take care. Bye now. Again, you've been listening to the Core Business Show. I'm Tim J.K., your host. Everybody have a great weekend, and thank you for listening. Take care.
Thank you for listening to the Core Business Show with Tim J.K. For more information about equipment financing and asset-based loans, visit our website, applecapitalgroup.com. That's applecapitalgroup.com. Or call us at 866-611-7457. We hope you'll join us for our next episode. And remember, you can always get to the core via iTunes. You'll find all our previous episodes there. And thanks again for listening to the Core Business Show with Tim J.K.